The Scrum Team. Scrum Team creates product in sprints. The Scrum Team is a small team of typically 10 or fewer people. It consists of 3 accountabilities: 1 product owner, developers, 1 Scrum Master. Within the Scrum Team, there are no sub-teams, there are no hierarchies. It is a cohesive unit of professionals focused on one objective at a time, the product goal. It is small enough to remain nimble, smaller teams communicate better and are more productive. And it is large enough to complete significant amount of work within the sprint. The Scrum Team is cross-functional. The members collectively have all the skills and expertise necessary to create valuable increments each sprint. They are responsible for all product-related activities. The Scrum Team is self-managing. The team members internally decide who does what, when and how. It is structured and empowered by the organization to manage its own work. The Scrum Team, with no sub-teams or inside hierarchies, is entirely accountable for creating useful increments that meet the definition of done every sprint. There are 3 important characteristics of the Scrum Team. It is cross-functional, self-managing and accountable. Let's discuss them one by one. The first one. The Scrum Team is cross-functional, meaning its members have all the skills necessary to create value each sprint. It is a group of people who collectively have all the skills and expertise to do the work. And if they don't have them, they share or acquire such skills as needed. The Scrum Team is responsible for all product-related activities: stakeholder collaboration, requirements elicitation, designing, coding, testing, verification, maintenance, operation, experimentation, research, development, and anything else that might be required. The Scrum Team is cross-functional, self-managing, and accountable. The second trait. The Scrum Team is self-managing. Team members internally decide who does what, when, and how. There is a corresponding principle in the Manifesto for Agile Software Development. The best architectures, requirements, and designs emerge from self-organizing teams. Previous Scrum guides referred to development teams not as self-managing but as self-organizing, choosing who and how to do the work, but not what to do. With more of a focus on the Scrum Team and with the product owner being part of the team, the current version of the Scrum Guide emphasizes a self-managing Scrum Team, choosing who, how, and what to work on. Scrum teams are structured and empowered by the organization to manage their own work. There is another corresponding principle in the Manifesto for Agile Software Development. Build project around motivated individuals. Give them the environment and support they need, and trust them to get the job done. Then, what is the drawback of not being empowered and self-managing? When the people involved are not empowered or self-managing, adaptation becomes more difficult. Also, motivation, commitment, and execution drop. The Scrum Team is cross-functional, self-managing, and number 3, Scrum Team is accountable. Scrum defines 3 specific accountabilities within the Scrum Team: the developers, the product owner, and the Scrum Master. In Scrum, the entire Scrum Team is accountable for creating valuable increments every sprint. The Scrum Master helps the Scrum Team focus on creating high-value increments that meet the definition of done. There are no hierarchies. The entire Scrum Team is accountable for creating useful increments each sprint. There are no hierarchies. The entire Scrum Team is accountable for creating useful increments each sprint. Here you may object. Shared collective responsibility does not work. Well, it depends on the conditions. Indeed, it works worse or does not work at all in large teams. But we are talking about a small team of 10 or fewer people who work on the same product in the same rhythm set by sprints and meetings. And each of the 4+1 Scrum events helps to strengthen this team accountability. How exactly? I will tell you about it when we discuss each event. And who is accountable for the effectiveness of the team members? The Scrum Master. The Scrum Master is accountable for the Scrum team's effectiveness. But how? Scrum Master enables the Scrum team to improve its practices. Without any authority? Yes. because the team is cross-functional, self-managing, and empowered. Does it work? Yes, it works. I've seen how it works, and I've done it myself. Honestly, it works just fine.